is that we follow whatever the governor's guidance will be, either this Friday or next Monday. But my goal is to just follow the advice of the medical experts that we have here in Buda, Baylor Scott and White, and other doctors. And I saw that the one-way aisle did not really affect positive or negative. It had really no effect. So I removed that one. And strategically, as we go forward, I'm going to watch the number of hospital beds that are being occupied, hospitalizations, and talk to the doctors and ask, okay, how close are we getting to that point where we're starting to reach into the strategic side? If we keep hospitalizations at a level, then I take the next step off and I continue to remove restrictions until all restrictions are gone. Then that's my goal. I see the work that went into revitalizing Buda and the work that has gone into bringing in even more businesses to Buda so that we have jobs here for the people. And not only jobs, but also the dreams and aspirations of all the people that have started the small businesses throughout town, but especially on Main. I mean, they went through the hit from the construction, and they said, okay, we can understand. It's going to take us a little time, but things are going to get better, you know. And they were looking like they were going to get better, and then all of a sudden, wham! Here comes COVID-19, and everybody gets shut down. So the livelihood of the people, their ability to get up in the morning and go and work and earn the money needed to provide the shelter, the food, and the clothing for themselves and their families. You know, it's like, I see it. You can actually see it where you talk to a business owner who has basically, they're on that razor's edge. If I go one more month without any income, I'm done. And then will that business recover? Who knows? You know, so that's one of the reasons why we did the task force and the stimulus, to try to help them keep going as long as they can and to preserve that dream and that idea that inspired them to open a business in Buda. You know, and so again, it comes down to that, where do we draw the line between, you know, safety and the economy? And that's, you know, that's something that I'm thinking that the governor is definitely looking at with his task force, and that I'm looking at when I sit down with everyone on the staff and talk, okay, what can we do? We're looking pretty solid. Mr. June Ellis and his team were able to sit down, and they gave us a presentation showing us the impact of, you know, a 50% reduction in sales tax revenue over 3 months, and then also the 75% reduction in sales revenue over the 3 months. And, you know, based on everything that the leadership of this city and the management and all of the department directors have been able to do, they've looked at what we can do to manage our finances now by, you know, freezing hiring, reducing expenditures, and looking at their budgets. How can they cut the budget enough to where it doesn't hurt the services to the people, and still manage to move forward. So, you know, based on all those reports, we're able to sit down and say, okay, I believe it was an ordinance in 2008, after the last recession, that came in and said you have to maintain a 3.5-month reserve of each of your funds. And each of those funds are divided out into, like, the general fund takes care of the general population and operations of the city. Based on all of that information, we were able to say that there's really not going to be a major impact, because we've been able to save back a little bit extra money above reserve requirement. And if we take a 50% hit, we'll lose some of that reserve above, well, the money above that reserve. And then if we extend the shortfalls of sales tax for longer, then we're still going to be okay. So the city's still going to, keep the lights on, still going to be able to provide to the citizens what they expect and what they deserve. And we won't have any issues as far as our budget goes for this year. Now, next year we may have to look, and we're going to be beginning our budget cycle here really soon. So we'll have to look and see, what the long-term effect will be. But I don't anticipate any major impact on us. And I don't see any really need to cut back on any of the services or any other thing that the city is doing right now.